What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Red River Horror Podcast. I am your host, Joe Zakrzewski. This is episode number 24. I am joined with my buddy, Eddie Caiazzo is back. Eddie, how are you? And a Happy New Year.
Joe, Happy New Year to you, and sorry to leave you hanging last week.
Oh, don't you worry about it. It's the way the holidays go. What are you going to do?
It's a busy time.
It sure is. But yeah, fresh year 2021 is upon us.
Yes.
It's time to get fresh. So I don't know if you checked out last week's episode, I brought up some of the things that was like one of my favorite things for 2020 outside of the podcast and the horror realm. Is there anything in there for you outside of the podcast horror wise, or it's just was such a crazy year you didn't even have time to think? You were busier than I was. I know that.
There was a lot going on, of course.
Yeah.
In 2020. Are you asking about stuff that we did in the podcast?
No, outside of the podcast, any like particular movie, or there was no sites to go see so much. Like there's no attractions that we normally would talk about, but that's something we're definitely going to be doing this fall.
Yes,
I believe stuff should be open by then in some way.
That's what I would expect. Although I did have a very good October this year.
Yeah,
and I guess we'll take it outside of the podcast. Every weekend was something new. So whereas we would have maybe have gone to Eastern State or Bates Motel, just listing some of the local haunts, I did still do a fall day.
Yes.
Got a bunch of pumpkins, carved them, ate a lot of food.
You make it happen.
You do what you can. Supported a lot of local businesses as much as I could. Shady Brook Farms was a new haunt that I went to this year. Now, they were affected by COVID in the sense that their full-on, horror hayride wasn't as developed as it usually is. But the maze was cool there. Yeah. They had another thing on site that had animatronic monsters and
stuff. Not bad.
So I will say that the month of October was a very good one for me, and I watched a lot of horror movies. A lot of in the sense that we all try to do the 31 Days of Halloween. I maybe got like one or two in per week.
Yeah,
which is a lot for me.
Yeah. Hey, that's the way it goes. I'm gonna hopefully pull off the 31 days next year. It's going to be tough because I think I have 3 weddings in October 21 to go to. So that'll keep me busy. But, if there's a will, there's a way. But I'm anticipating a good year. I anticipated a good year last year, but, what can I tell you about that? It's just the way things happen. Just you can't predict the future, but I'm feeling pretty good.
2020 was it was tough, but I think you packaged it pretty well in the last episode in that we got a lot accomplished.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time with very little resources. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of great people that helped make the podcast what it was in 2020. I think
Absolutely.
It was like Andrew Meekum, Matthew Whedon. They were nice enough to join us. The podcast was brand new. Got to talk to one of my favorite modern horror filmmakers, Jeffrey Reddick.
Yep.
For the first time. Stacey Lane Wilson introduced us to Daniel Farron's Halloween 6. Obviously one of my favorite Halloween movies. We ranked them, and we got to finally do what we talked about all these years in ranking the Halloween films with our buddy
our pal Joe. And it's a good segue into what this week's episode is, because like I said last week, we're back in a movie state of mind. It's like what's coming this year in 2021 in the horror sphere. And being that Halloween Kills is scheduled for 2021, and I know that you're excited for that one. I know Joe's very excited for that one. Or you're less excited?
I'm less excited.
You would have rather have had the other one just be a standalone, just call it a day?
Again, I feel like I was duped in that. Remember when how exciting it was that it's like, oh, okay, Rob Zombie is making, a remake, a reboot, whatever it was, of Halloween. Now, he was coming off of The Devil's Rejects, and that was an awesome film. Love that film.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about Halloween 2007. Didn't really like it that much. And then it's like, okay, there's going to be no sequel. He said like, there's not going to be a sequel. There's not. And then there was.
He got forced into it, basically,
Right.
according to him.
Right. So I feel like I got duped with that. It's just like, all right, can't this Rob Zombie thing be a one-off? Like, do we really need a sequel? And then it really was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Halloween 2018, and it's like, I really don't know how you move on from that. And I feel like one of their sales pitches in the beginning was that this would just be a direct sequel 40 years later to Halloween, and there wouldn't be anything after that. Joe D from Different Take corrected me and said, no, man, if it was a success, this was the plan. It's like, all right, well.
Yeah, I thought the plan's 3.
Yeah, well, I guess it is.
Yeah. I'm basing that off of Jody's.
Yeah.
And, he's quite on top of the Halloween franchise.
He is. So I was wrong. So I'm a little less excited about Halloween 2018 because I liked the film. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's happening.
It's happening.
2021.
Take my money. I'm going to see it.
You want to know something that's just had me laughing for Halloween 2020 that I forgot to mention? And also one of my favorite things that I did. So it's like, outside of this for like my band projects, I wouldn't count it as like the horror thing. But outside of that, for like music wise, we really had a productive year. Started doing like some YouTube videos. You can check us out on YouTube at LimeWire. That's, me and Steve, who was on the show
Yes.
a couple weeks ago. And we did for Halloween, we did the Misfits show. Like we did a whole Misfits concert and put it up on YouTube.
Yes.
So I love the Misfits, so I thought that was like my brilliant idea. And I'm just like, sure, some places do it. Because there's no concerts or touring going on, apparently every other like big name band did the same exact thing.
Oh, no.
There was tons of them.
Oh, man.
I still think ours was the best because, it was authentic and, local band playing in a local studio, and I got to smash a guitar at the end.
Yeah. Oh, my
So
gosh.
that
yes.
was quite thrilling. I've never actually gotten to take a guitar and smash it into concrete until it blew into bits. So I had that going for me. And then we just did the Christmas one, but that, I at least got like a really good Halloween feel by dressing up and singing a bunch of Misfit songs.
Yes. I mean,
So.
well, the thing is, you didn't know going in that every band, especially bands with more that are, I guess, like popular acts.
Oh yeah, I mean, like there was even like Rise Against, who's a big band. Like they did Halloween, and like some others did. And then the one that had me laughing the most is a band I like way back in the day, Saves the Day.
Oh my gosh!
Who they had an album released called Through Being Cool. They did a 2-song Misfit short release that called Through Being Ghoul. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Thanks, guys.
But hey, that's the way it goes. Ours was a lot of fun because it's just 4 guys dressed up having a good time. And then we did it again for Christmas, dressed up and had a good time.
Yep.
But it wasn't Misfit songs that time.
Well, so I had every intention, listeners may know, I hold a big Halloween party every year.
Yep.
And this year we did it outside, obviously. We had everything outside. I was all set to do the live stream because you and Steve and Dave
Yeah.
were at the party. I'm just like, all right.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't make it this year.
Oh my gosh, what? It was Dave and Steve. Oh,
Dave
gosh.
and Steve stopped up.
And Charles.
Yeah.
Yes, the 3. Okay, Dave, Steve, and Charles, and I'm just like, all right, cool. So like, I had the projector going in the backyard. I'm like, all right, we'll do the live stream.
Yeah.
What we ended up doing, not intentionally, was we were watching Halloween 2018 at that time because it was like one movie. I think it was John Carpenter's Vampires ended, and it's just like, all right, what do you want to watch? The night got away from. But I did see retroactively. I did watch
Some of it.
the LimeWire.
Cool.
And just to cap that off on the music space, another weird thing that happened, and I think it was on Halloween, Lifehouse did the 20 years of No Name Face.
Huh.
They did the entire album. And I'm like, oh, well, this will be cool. Maybe I'll check it out. I saw it. They targeted me advertising on
Sure.
Facebook and Instagram. So I'm like, oh, I'll check this out. I thought it was like a Facebook Live or a live stream. No, they were charging.
Yeah, that's a big thing now.
Yeah.
So coming out after pandemic, a lot was like pay-per-view shows, and I mean that's how they make their money.
It is, but I have the CD.
Yeah, I mean they're just trying to get a couple bucks.
I know.
So, but yeah, there's a few things like that I've wanted to check out. So I'll give another shout out to Steve who shared access for a live concert thing like that with me. So
excellent.
For a different band, but hey, still good show. A lot of good stuff. I mean, that would be a conversation for a different thing. I was just reading something where I said 2020 was awful for music, and I just have to disagree. There was a lot of really interesting albums released that would have been followed by like a lot of great tours and other fun things, but you know what? That'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
But probably till 2022. But hey.
Yeah, it looks that way.
We'll see.
Want to hear something creepy about that?
Of course I do.
Live Nation might be... Well, if to see a show at Live Nation, there was a story out there that they might make you get the vaccine and have proof that you got vaccinated.
Huh.
That's a little creepy.
That's a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be strange.
That'd be a bit much.
Yeah.
That'd be a bit much because, someone whose parents didn't vaccinate them could go there and end up getting hepatitis or fucking polio or
oh man,
mumps or measles. So same. Blah, whatever.
Yeah.
The horror, I say.
The horror.
So anyway, the goal today is we were going to check out movies that were coming out in 2021, at least their trailers. One that I watched last week was that Wrong Turn trailer.
Oh, man.
Just for anybody listening, I have some compilation videos that I found on the YouTube that we're going to watch, and that's how we will be viewing these things. So if Wrong Turn comes back on, guess what? I'm going to talk about it again, or we'll just talk loudly over it. It doesn't matter. Because that trailer looked pretty good, and you saw it on your own.
I had to, after listening to last week's podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I texted you, say, this is how weird I am. Why wouldn't I just go watch it, right? I first had to text you and say, hey, was the Wrong Turn trailer really that good? Like, yeah. It's like, okay, now I'll go and watch it.
Yeah. I think, there's things where it's like I could just easily look it up or Google it, but sometimes I'll just reach out to someone for the sake of being social.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, why not have a quick chat?
I'm glad I did, though, because that was awesome, and I'm going to talk about how awesome it was again if it pops up.
Yeah. And then, of course, the one that I am looking forward to most is surprisingly from a franchise that just fell out of grace with me, that I just couldn't stand a lot of the sequels, which is Saw.
Yes.
And that new one, Spiral, which is in the same realm. I don't know exactly what it is with Chris Rock. That looks really good. I think probably the better direction for where Saw could have gone rather than just turning into the clown show that it was.
Yeah.
But let's get started. First one here, there's no name to it, even though I think it's some Jack in the Box or something like that. Spoiler alert, but
yeah,
you'll see. We might not see the titles till the end. But hey, let's get it started.
Going in raw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Ever discovered?
So yeah, it's a Jack in the
The
Box.
original
The original.
Jack in the Box.
You think I'm scared of you?
Not of me, but you should be afraid.
Afraid of what?
You have no idea.
Oh boy. The Jack is unleashed again.
Whoa.
That is a monster coming out of a box.
Hey.
Called The Jack in the Box Awakening.
Oh, it's a sequel?
Is it a sequel?
I don't know. It said...
Oh, it's a UK film, so maybe. But it actually, I would watch that just based off of that trailer.
Off that trailer, yes.
What is
Here we go. Here's another
storytelling?
one. So
Storytelling started with our indigenous people.
A shot in the woods.
Can anyone give
kid.
me an example of
old
a
mill.
myth or a story they're afraid of?
Ooh,
Lucas.
Is that Carrie Russell?
it is. And Lucas is always a name for a creepy kid.
Okay. Fox Searchlight.
What's going on?
Found a part of a
That
man in the
dickhead
woods
from Breaking
today.
Bad.
Looks like James Corden.
Part of the man?
I guess the other half was found in the mine. Oh, this has got to be an animal, right?
Man.
No animal that I've ever seen.
Oh,
Something is going on with Lucas.
it's always a Lucas. Ooh, Guillermo del Toro.
Uh-oh.
Belongs to a student of mine.
So that means it's going to be
This is what was
trippy.
in the mine.
Yeah, the visuals are always
Diabolical
better
Spirit
than the story.
Excuse me, this is a myth.
James
for
Corden.
you, yeah.
This looks kind of cool, though. So-
He's not your responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
He has no one. He is my responsibility.
He'll come for me.
Woods,
He needs me.
creepy pictures.
Yeah.
A kid, a teacher. Oh, screaming, darkness,
He's
silence.
here.
Ooh.
Antlers?
Oh, there you go.
Antlers.
A more serious tusk?
I don't know so much about that. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Quiet
Oh.
Place.
I wasn't a huge fan of A Quiet Place.
You don't like Quiet Place?
I think the payoff didn't do it for me.
That's fair.
What is going on?
So this first two is going to start in the very beginning of the breakout.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. Mom.
Oh.
Because John Krasinski's not really in the next one, I guess.
Uh-oh. That creature. See, that's the thing. You see too much of the creature.
It's okay. We're okay. We're
Think it'd be better with less creature?
Yeah.
Where? Mom? Oh my God.
Uh-oh. Pretty cool stunt.
That is a very cool stunt.
Yeah.
So she like whipped the car in reverse when a bus was about to just head on collide with her.
Speed.
So is John, did he die at the end of the first? I didn't think he died.
I thought he died, yeah.
Oh, he did die.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what this could have been too for me. Everybody talked about how good It Follows was. I thought It Follows was good. Everybody talked about how good A Quiet Place was, and I did not think so. They built it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it had its brutal moments. Oh shit. The Quiet Place I found had like some parts that were just a little too annoying.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked
Are we doing the backwoods thing again?
it. Backwoods and monsters that are seeking sound.
I don't know why you came all the way up here.
There's nothing left.
She's got the baby.
Please. There are people out there worth saving.
Called Batman.
But that was clever, like putting the baby in the box.
You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. The people that are left, they're not the kind of people worth saving.
Was that a Cillian Murphy, or how do you pronounce his name?
Oh my gosh.
With a beard doing that kind of accent?
good eye if it was.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
He's a good actor, so I don't.
He is. He's in one of my favorite horror movies. The 28
Hey, wait.
days later.
You gotta try it.
Try what?
All right, here we got some
Calling
kids
the
on a
empty man.
Who's the empty man?
empty man. There's kids on a bridge.
If
new
you're
character?
on a bridge and you find a bottle, you blow into it, and you think about the empty man. Oh, come on, Mandy. How old are you?
Tell him the rest.
On the first night, you hear him. And on the second night, you see him.
And on the third night?
Well, on the third night, he finds you.
What?
He finds you. You can hear him, can't you?
Yeah.
Squirming his way into your
October.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Like a disease. And his message is contagious.
Discount Robert Pattinson.
All right.
The empty man, 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 the empty man.
Let's see. Let's give it a chance. Give it a chance.
The empty man, 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 the empty
Ah.
I don't know. Well, it's rated R. It is rated R.
It could.
Like
I
so,
don't know.
So the Bye Bye
Oof.
Man was rated PG-13 and Slender Man was rated PG-13. This one is rated R. So maybe
Clever. Let's see. No place like home.
wow.
The owners. See, these are just coming rapid fire.
house like this.
Another James Corden.
There is a
Yeah.
ton of cash.
It's not actually James Corden, it's just some fat British guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Oh, it's the chick from the Game of Thrones.
Is that a good show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I don't care what anybody says.
I've never seen it.
I loved it. Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of here, Nathan.
I'm doing this for you, me, the baby.
This won't get you anywhere but prison.
Nathan, don't do this.
Give me the combination.
Richard, no.
If you're curious which Game of Thrones character. Oh, shit. It's Arya Stark.
Oh, graphic novel.
The hospital is 30 miles away. I seriously doubt you could survive the journey. Oh, goodness. You don't look at all well. Please sit here and wait for the ambulance to arrive. Oh, we really must fumigate this place again soon. We're plagued by vermin. Every sort of pest.
Old lady smashed a bug.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of blood on her hands. It's
Eek.
weird.
We have to get out.
I definitely want to check out the graphic novel after seeing this.
Everything will be fine.
I've told you 1,000 times.
Are graphic novels good?
Shoes
Yes.
off at the door. She needs to be punished. She'll ruin everything.
Very well. If that's what you want.
There's no place like home.
What's going on?
Yeah, there's people in weird stuff and gas
More,
masks.
and then a lovely long sleep.
The owners. Has a Get Out vibe to it without the hypnotizing part.
It didn't look bad.
Doesn't look bad at all. Alright, next one.
Oh, an exorcism one. Here we go.
The only exorcism on webcast. Okay. A global phenomenon.
Yes.
Hundreds of souls saved.
Good.
Okay, so these guys are live streaming an exorcism.
Nice job, everybody. Good job.
Was it fake? All fake.
Ah.
They're goofing. I like that though.
Let me lead.
There we go.
Volume's low on this one, but hey, whatever. Ooh. Shit.
Is that a real one?
Until now. Also, clever idea. Doing like, oh, it's like we fake exorcisms for the internet. And
Yes.
then the real thing comes after you. But based on how she looks, let's see, the cleansing hour. Maybe not for me, just
Yeah.
based on that look. But
I mean, well, it's Shutter.
We know there are other
Shutter
stories
label
to
there.
tell,
Shutter- yeah, Shutter
but we've never
good
felt
job,
the
so we can give it a
pressure
shot.
to
Oh.
push them out there until we feel like there is
Is
a
that
great
the
story to tell
Crooked
and that
Man?
we have something
I think
that,
so.
again, will be a worthy entrance
Okay.
to the Conjuring universe.
It's a Conjuring 3.
Yes.
Close your eyes.
That's supposed to come out.
Yep. So we'll look at Conjuring 3.
I really wanted Conjuring 3 to get away from the haunted house
So it's more
setup
like a
of the first
James
sneak
Wan.
films. It should be more on a whole
gotta get
different
him on the
level,
show.
Something
That'd be
that we've
awesome.
never explored before in the Conjuring world.
We wanted to keep our new story grounded in the feel of Conjuring movies, but we wanted to make sure we were telling a brand new
Interesting.
story.
Okay, good.
And we think the Arnie Johnson story was something that really deserved a much closer look.
That is good. And you know what? We should
As
actually,
I got to the bottom of the stairs,
before it comes
and I
out,
went
we
to
should
open the
cover the
door,
story that it's based on.
I
'Cause,
don't
you know,
remember anything.
Ooh.
Conjuring's
the
based
next
on a
thing
true
I
story.
know,
Okay.
I was in a jail cell.
So we'll tell the
And I
actual
said,
story.
What's going on
Yeah,
here?
this
and they
guy.
say, well, you're being charged for murder. I
What?
said, what are you talking about?
That's the guy that it's based
Trial
on.
of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. This was an internationally renowned case, which was the first time in the history of law in the United States that
That demonic possession was used as a reason for committing manslaughter.
Do you think you'll be able to prove the existence of
It's
the devil
known, but
in
we'll
court?
do our own
Truth
take
doesn't
on it.
require anyone to believe in it. You're in for a much different ride than you've been on in other Conjuring films.
what's the point of a sequel if you can't outshine and outstory and out-heart the previous films? It just requires you to bring your A+ game.
When
I
I,
don't
was
think that's
working
gonna
with
be too
Michael
hard
Schaub's
after
on La
two.
Llorona, I saw a filmmaker
No.
that really gets these kind of films.
It's not that I
bittersweet
didn't
for
like it.
me
It was just
to
it had
pass
so many
the baton
cheesy
on.
parts.
And action!
Like
But
the
it's
part they
good to
just showed
get
where
a
he starts
fresh
singing
take
Elvis.
on where we can take the
Oh,
Conjuring
okay.
universe.
We're offering
Just
something very
standing in the
special
doorway
with
and
these
saying,
films, and I think that's
"Aw."
one of the reasons people keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's
The
nice,
final reason,
but it
of
was like
course,
a little
is
too long.
That people love to be
At-
scared.
at least
I don't know
they
that anybody
have
has crafted
top-notch
or
actors.
created better
That's true.
scare
Doing it.
sequences than James Wan, David Sandberg, Gary Dauberman, Corin Hardy,
Wow.
John Leonetti, Michael Schaub's.
Guys, we're making Conjuring 3. It's gonna be awesome.
These are all people that really know what they're doing, and they do an incredible job.
It's an all-star,
crafting
like,
new and
crew.
original scare sequences. That's really what people.
This
come
guy
back
that's
to see.
talking right now, I don't know who he is. He looks like a discount. John Cusack.
He does.
Birthday!
Next,
It's your locket.
a birthday,
Now
a locket.
it's
Ooh, solid setup.
Dad.
A birthday, a locket, a creepy little scare.
Oh no.
Wind chime.
I need
Adult looking at child playing outside window.
My husband was
K.
stopped it.
Huh? Child is now not there. Oh, there she is.
oh no.
Don't like that.
Get inside.
Close the door, comes back, doors open. A figure. A basement. These are all the perfect pieces to a horror film. What do you got going?
Whatever happens, don't come out.
Motherly.
over everyone.
At the
Wouldn't
movie?
you?
Huh. That's it.
All right.
That's an interesting one. Motherly, eh?
I am glad
Yeah.
that Wrong Turn wasn't a part of that because there's some mystery. If that's what that group, what is that, Film Select?
Yeah.
Put together, that list of trailers.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting list. It's some in there that I'm genuinely intrigued, and some where I'm like, you know, let's stay away from that.
Good luck with all that.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it goes, you know.
Now we're going to be. You alluded to this in the last episode. We're going to be making a real strong effort in the weeks to come to have video.
Yeah, it's a shame that there just wasn't time to get it for this one in particular. It might not be immediate. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be, hopefully soon we'll be setting up in a permanent hold for production.
Yep.
And then a lot of things will be produced out of that. So
yes.
We have a lot of Red River Horror production that's coming out of there, and some other stuff for like, I guess, band, but then there's some other things that are in the works that I can tell you about off mic.
It's going to be an all-inclusive space.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I want to take a look at this because here's the ones that we didn't look for trailers for that we are 100% going to cover when we're not doing the locations and lore and other things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we already mentioned Halloween Kills. The other is one of our personal favorites. I've even had the pleasure of talking to someone who was in the film. We do, try and do hashtags for this guy every Tuesday.
Oh,
is going to be Candyman
Oh.
comes out, which hopefully, Tony got the cameo in it, right? Hopefully.
I believe so.
You gotta have Tony Todd just show his face for a minute.
We can fact check it, but by simply looking at the IMDb page. But
I think he confirmed it on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did, and it was like really quick. It was like it was announced. It's just like, oh man, how can like Tony Todd not be in it? And he's like, don't worry or something like that. But I mean, Jordan Peele is not. He's behind that, so I can't see him. Really not paying homage to Tony.
No, I have a feeling. I have a feeling that Candyman's going to be really good. I hope I'm not let down. The first one was so good. It's one of my all-time favorites, as you know. And we will get Tony Todd Tuesday ramped back up very soon. I have some things slowing down a little bit. The last quarter of the year was crazy, but we need to make the effort. Tony Todd Tuesday exists. Hashtag Tony Todd Tuesday. We got to keep going.
Yeah. Very interesting. And now this one, I think, will be on Netflix in 2021 for Zack Snyder did the Dawn of the Dead with the Richard Cheese and all that.
He did.
Remember?
Yes.
One that we used to just crack up laughing at.
Ving Rhames.
There's no Mekhi Phifer. There was a Mekhi Phifer.
There was a Mekhi Phifer. What? There's no Mekhi Phifer.
That's from that Eminem song,
Oh my gosh!
Yes. There's no Mekhi Phifer. Well, and
there was
the Dawn of the Dead remake. There is a Mekhi Phifer.
Yes.
And also, the funny thing is that the dickhead in that, like who's like the pompous jackass dude, it ends up 10 years later gets the role of his life playing the dad on Modern Family, who's a lovable goofball, like the complete opposite. It's actor Ty Burrell.
Yes.
Or Burrell. I think it's Burrell. Actors, you got to add a little,
little emphasis, little accent or something.
Emphasis on a certain syllable.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. Anyway, so we got Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which will be apparently a preview or a prequel to the Dawn of the Dead.
I will see it only because I liked Dawn of the Dead so much and it's taken so long for him to make another.
Right. And it's on Netflix.
Right.
So,
but you know that the zombie movies, the zombie genre, probably my least favorite.
Yeah, we're on the opposite ends on that one, and I think why it's my favorite is because it was the one that really scared me the most when I was little, and then once it was like, oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. I just really got into it.
Hey,
except for what are you gonna? I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? Let's see. Ooh, Don't Breathe 2.
Don't Breathe was a messed up film.
You know what? I didn't watch that one, and I don't understand how there could be a sequel. It's one of those ones that I keep forgetting about. So, isn't it like Stephen Lang's the blind guy?
Is he like an older dude?
Old dude with a beard.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
He's blind, and they go in to break into his house, and then he's just like, he's like following them by sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, pretty intense.
That's definitely one that I've always wanted to get to and always forget about. So I'll have to watch that before Don't Breathe 2.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. Before that, though, leading up to the weirdness is very good.
I can get down with that. I can get down with that. And then, of course, Spiral's on this list. The Conjuring 3 with Kate. The Devil Made Me Do It. Quiet Place Part 2 that we just, well, whatever. We saw a trail for that.
And remember, Nick Cush from Movie Babble will be providing all of RedRiverHorror.com readers.
Yes.
With the monthly previews at the beginning of each month, so don't miss that.
Yes, and he will be joining us at some point to start talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we got something that's going to be a bit of a vampire with starring, Jared Leto.
Wow, Jared Leto. So is he
the
one?
Biochemist Michael Morbius tries to cure himself of rare blood disease, but when his experiment goes wrong, he inadvertently infects himself with a form of vampirism instead.
Now, Jared Leto's the one that he was like on some kind of retreat, like he had no connection to the world, and then he came back and there was a pandemic, and he like didn't know about it.
Maybe. I don't know. He was in My So-Called Life, and then it was just like, I thought he was like was getting more credit as like a big name than he was, and then he started what's the band he has with his brother, the Can't Break Me Down, Bring Me Down.
Oh shoot! Mission to Mars.
Yeah, it was
Mars
30
Attacks.
Seconds to Mars.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
A 1045 band.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, sorry if you like them. Why? I mean,
What did I say? Mission to Mars.
But either way, he's given himself quite the career, but he's also known as a bit of an oddball. So,
he's in a Urban Legend too.
He is. He's also in the most depressing movie I've ever seen in my entire life, which is Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
And, that's something that scares me.
That's a scary movie, and one, I don't know if I could watch that again, and I bought it. I have no idea why.
Good collector's item.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, just the way his mom's life ends doesn't really, not her death, she doesn't die, but
Right.
just the way her life goes is something that that's a deep life fear that I fear for, like, anybody I know.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Terrifying. Yeah. Terrifying. And then the other thing, spoiler alert, that if you haven't seen it by now, then that's on you. But it's like, other thing I like about that movie so much is that it has, the right outcome for heroin addicts, where it's like everything at the time was like, oh, it's like they do this and they get into a lot of mischief and struggle with addiction, but it all works out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like, everyone's lives were ruined.
Yes.
And here's how terrible it got. The end.
Yep.
It's like, good God. Anyway, so in case you didn't know, I like Requiem for a Dream a lot, even though it's very depressing.
It's a fantastic film. Just it's very, very depressing. And if you want your kids to not do drugs, that would be a one to show them at like 12.
100%. Well, if you could find a more edited version, I don't think the part ass to ass is appropriate for a 12-year-old. But hey, that's the way it goes. Oh, and then Eddie, we got I completely forgot about this. A little reboot. What did I shout in the middle of the theater at the very end of Resident Evil?
Oh man, I know it was a derogatory term.
Something. But either way, we got the Resident Evil reboot starting up, so that should be cool.
Who is playing the I don't even remember her damn name.
Well, I think they're using the characters from the first one because she didn't really have a name, did she? In the first, oh man, I can't remember.
Was it Claire Valentine? I don't.
Well, it's Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy. Oh yeah.
Okay, so those are names. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a change up rather than a reboot of what those were, like a more to the video game, I guess.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I wish I was more familiar with Resident Evil. I watched it for
first game, I mean, it's funny. I think you were there. We had Huey's house when we were kids, and we were playing it. It was like pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Scared the bejesus out of me.
Yes.
Mostly because of the music. And then when you open the door, then the dogs would come at you.
Call the dogs. Call the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Forever Purge. How...
The Forever Purge. Those movies are so...
Does that cover it?
Yes.
Sorry. That felt very necessary when mentioning the Purge sequels.
It's such a good idea, and it's so condescending. It's so condescending.
You know what? So it's like the first one was like, hey, this is okay. It's a neat idea.
Sure.
Like, it wasn't very thrilling. It just like kind of was like, okay. Like, it started off and it's like, oh, okay, like this is kind of cool. And then, then it wasn't as cool.
Yeah.
Because it just was kind of like, all right, I get it. And it's like, but why? Oh, just because they can. It's like, okay. Where then there was, I can't remember.
But like, I get it.
Second one, not as bad. Second, I mean, I don't say the first one was bad. The second one was actually like a pretty decent sequel, and like the idea of it's like, hey, let's see more of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then what's the second one? The Purge 2 was which one? And Purge was 3 Election Day.
3 was Election Day,
and that was just that's up there in some of the worst. I never finished it. I fell asleep in the 2 times I attempted watching it.
Well, because there's a way to do social commentary, and The Purge just misses the mark.
It does, and a lot of that's just those really awfully, written monologues that they have people do, which is like, for tonight,
right. This big scene,
for tonight,
it's Purge night,
and you know what that means, because that's how people are going to talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Ooh, we got a little comedy horror called Willy's Wonderland, and that's a Nick Cage. Nick Cage, Kaylee Cohen. I don't know.
Who the hell is Nick Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, because I was thinking I just started watching a show.
Yeah, my head feels like it's on fire, but yeah.
Skull's on fire, but I'm good. He was in a movie. Oh man!
So this could be something. There's no trailer for it yet, but we'll have to keep our eyes on that one.
Keep your eye out on Nick Cage films, because he's had 2 now that I've seen that were straight to video that were really good.
Oh, I'm sure. He's stuff that he's in that it's not like mainstream, like really good, like The Weatherman.
Oh,
I love that.
Weatherman's a great movie.
It is.
That is a freaking
not a horror movie, but a very enjoyable movie.
And when you said that, I'm like, okay, this looks like I'm not really gonna like it that much.
Yeah.
Completely wrong. That movie was awesome.
Yeah. Here's one. This let's see. The person behind this is mime Edgar Wright, who I'm a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
And what we got going on? What we got going on here? This is called Last Night in Soho.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the regular folks from Edgar Wright movies, as you know, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. I don't see them in there.
Oh shoot! I think I'm getting Edgar Wright confused. Who's the guy that played Uncle Owen in Attack of the Clones? That's become this huge star now. Oh man,
I am drawing a blank.
He did. It Comes at Night. The Australian. I think he's Australian. Let me see. I'm gonna look this up while you look that up.
This has me really intrigued because, because it's Edgar Wright, I'm like, I want to see the trailer for this. So I'm going to pull up the trailer for that. While I'm doing that, just another real quick rundown. Just a quick rundown.
Joel Edgerton, who I was thinking.
Not even close.
Okay, sorry.
But there's going to be a ton of other stuff. So you're going to have another Hotel Transylvania for those of you with the kiddies. Hotel Transylvania is a good one for the kids. And you got Dune, which I don't think you could count Dune as a horror movie, but hey. Dune,
somebody
sci-fi.
did.
Hey, Dune's pretty dope either way. Just in the world of it. I can't say that I'm like super into it, but I had a cousin who was really into it, and listening to him talk about it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Ooh.
Oh, and so there's going to be a bunch. You got a sequel to that Addams Family cartoon that happened, whatever that was. I didn't see that.
I watched it on Fall Day, but I had it on while I was cooking this year, so I don't know how the story panned out, but it looked fun.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then we got another one, which will be a horror comedy starring Key and Peele. Even though written by Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key, but Peele's not directing this one, but they're starring it. They look really silly.
I will see that.
Yeah.
Because right above zombies for me in the horror genre is horror comedies. I'm not a huge horror comedy fan.
No? Oh, man. I love, talking Zombie Man, Tucker and Dale. I love that stuff.
2 horror comedies that I liked, Tucker and Dale and The Final Girls. Both I enjoyed.
I mean, all right. Now here's one that's intriguing that's on the list I always forget about. And that is the new Ghostbusters.
Oh, right.
Which I will count as a horror movie. If we went, like, we should, if we ever talked about movies that like scared the life out of you when you were a kid, Ghostbusters is right up there for me with The Library, because I was, like 5 or 6, and then you don't realize how funny that is later in life, where like, you just hear them whispering and then they jump out. You're not thinking about the actual dialogue.
Right.
It's like, follow me. We'll stay close. Get her! And then, this horrifying ghost pops up and chases her. Get her, Ray? That was your plan? Get her? But little Joe did not comprehend.
Well, could that be the last trailer that we watch? Because I think if there is one available, I think the spin on it is that it's not really that funny.
I think it's supposed to be more serious, but I think it's just a very short teaser. Let's check out this Last Night in Soho, and then I'll see what we can find for that and probably call it a day.
All right.
But that's the way it goes. We're having a good time here, and hopefully next time we can get some video going with us, but hey,
Yes.
no rush.
Hi.
Oh.
It takes nothing special to mop up after the dying. You're prettier than the last one.
Trippy.
It's been a few weeks.
Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Gran? Mom?
It's quite something. Bless Amanda's body and bless her mind, which is shrouded in darkness.
Oh my gosh.
Those are some good movies that just shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Old lady, always
When you
creepy.
pray, do you get a response?
Oh, it's like he's physically in me.
Do you know where you were, Mum?
Female director?
I suppose.
I guess he's a producer.
I'm a private carer.
Maybe just that information on
You're
the
still
Google is
nursing?
just so wrong.
Well, they know what happened. All the good girls go to hell.
I was on the property when your grandfather inherited it. His mind wasn't there in the end.
Creepy house.
You can't put Gran in a home.
I'm ready and open.
Ow.
Fuller of your love than ever before.
Mum, what is it? It's here.
I have a responsibility.
Trippy.
Oh, yes, of course.
This is life, and another level. What if I'm getting it all wrong?
There was that eyeball thing. Oh, that'll get me.
This house seems...
Oh, that'll get me.
Oh,
that'll get me.
What was that called?
I'm hoping it was the right one. Last Night in Soho.
Whoa.
Teaser trailer.
Was that from A24? It said the studio that brought you Hereditary, Midsummer, and The Witch.
Yeah.
A24, man.
And there's a few of those. I mean, check out. Honestly, guys, check out some of these trailers. There's some interesting stuff.
2021 looks like, and it could have been pushed from 2020 because you know how 2020 was supposed to be like the best year with all the holidays on the weekends, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Maybe all those movies got pushed back, and there's a lot of experimental things happening that look creepy.
So, I guess this is a official trailer. I mean, yeah, I guess it is an official trailer.
And it's Ivan Reitman's son, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom won't say.
Stranger Things
but
kid.
we're close
Yep.
broke.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing this now.
And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
I like how it's like getting away from the city.
Mm-hmm. Slimer?
Somehow,
I
a
hope
town
so.
that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no
Paul
loud
Rudd.
music even,
Paul Rudd.
is shaking on a daily basis.
Under the dining table now! Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
LOL. But
I
that's
found
okay.
this in my living room.
It's to be expected.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of
It's
what?
that guy.
A ghost trap?
Oh, couldn't see.
Still Rudd.
Jason Reitman, that's
There hasn't
it.
been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead.
Oh.
Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom.
Who's their dad supposed to be?
I don't know.
Probably Harold Ramis, because he's no longer with us.
My mom
R.I.P.
says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute.
Ghost Trap?
Who are you?
I missed the name.
You couldn't see it?
No. I'll look it up after this. Or you can tweet at me at Red River Joe.
Call it.
Call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Come on, darling.
There's the Ecto One.
It has a gunner seat?
That was definitely Slimer in the one part.
Slimer. Oh, dude, that looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. I like this approach a lot better than the last one, which was, and it's a shame because it had a good cast of comedic women, but it was so loud about, hey, this is a Ghostbusters remake starring women. Like, if you're gonna make the movie with that, just make the movie as is. But it felt like a nonstop having to reference, hey, this is a Ghostbusters remake starring women. It's like,
yeah,
it's like I see that we've reached that point early on.
Right.
It just didn't stop.
I still gotta try to see it though, and I haven't, only because everybody has said it was so bad. So I haven't been able to convince anyone to watch it with me.
It's a tough watch.
Yeah,
it's a tough watch.
But I love
some of
the
my little
Ghostbusters.
cousins like it because it's silly.
Right.
So like it has its silly moments, but in a different kind of humor that I guess didn't carry over into like the modern, to where we are now compared to the 80s. Like especially like those guys, it's all dry humor.
Right.
With like some slapstick, whereas this is just, loud and in your face. What you can expect from Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and
Kristen Wiig,
and Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon, who is fantastic. She's
very funny.
Yeah,
she's very funny. She does some great impressions, but ultimately
work.
is I'm still blocked by Leslie Jones on Twitter for
really
my very not very serious joke about it, but she didn't care for it. So, hey, what are you gonna do?
Leslie Jones, I feel like though she was the one that was the most loud at the time on the PR tour about it.
She was
Yeah.
I think just something minor tweet at her. I was just like, okay, and then she just blocked me.
Yeah, no,
something silly, something really silly. But
that was a good capstone to this episode. I really enjoyed watching that Ghostbusters trailer last.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm curious to see how it's going to work. It's a clever idea. It's like, all right, get it out of New York, take it out to the a rural small town area. See what you can do with that. Thing with the kids, I guess.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember the kid's name off the top of my head. Stranger Things kid in that I referenced was Finn Wolfhard.
Yes. Yeah.
So
good on you for remembering that.
I know.
That's a show I hope we get in 2021. I think.
Oh man.
I think would it be the last season? Probably. Either way, that's a show I wanted to revisit and watch again. There's so much. I mean, What We Do in the Shadows season 3 is coming. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff. I would have said that for 2020, but it came out in 2019. So otherwise,
yeah.
If you want to have a laugh with some vampire stuff, What We Do in the Shadows. Most of my friends know me, have heard me not shut up about it when I bring it up, or just bring it up in casual conversation as if I've never spoken about it before.
Mm-hmm.
As I do some time to time.
It happens.
Yeah. But hey, that's all I've got for today. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, any ideas, any suggestions, any guests you would like us to talk to? Again, redriverhorror@gmail.com, redriverhorror@gmail.com. We will be feeding that YouTube channel very soon, so please subscribe. Just Red River Horror. You see the RRH, crossed, just like the podcast logo there.
That's right.
Hit subscribe.
Tap the bell.
Yeah, do all that. Subscribe, the alerts, and then for the podcast here, please. It's all over. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review.
Yes,
follow the podcast.
That helps a lot.
Spotify, same thing. Give us a follow.
Do it for the algorithm and for us.
Yes, it helps us greatly. And this show has cracked the top 30. On the top 200 podcasts in America. Before.
Yeah.
So please help us do that again, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you all very much. This has been the Red River Horror Podcast. Of course, you can reach us at redriverhorror@gmail.com.
I'm Eddie Caiazzo.
And that's Eddie Caiazzo. I am Joe Zakrzewski, and keep traveling those channels of fear.